VMworld 2017. I am here with Hansen, from Turbonomics at the Turbonomics booth. And I have a question concerning the Turbonomics product. Many users asked me actually through the blog about how the feature Turbonomics has and how it compares to the VMware DRS.
Sure, yes. It's a common question that we receive. I think the answer starts at the goals of the two different solutions. Turbonomics is designed to make sure that your workloads, whether that's on-premise or in the cloud, are always receiving the resources that they need to operate properly, while using the least amount of resources on-premises and maintaining compliance. So when you think about that goal in mind, there's quite a few different types of decisions you need to make. There's quite a few different metrics you need to look at. And so the wide variety of decisions you may get out of Turbonomics would be a placement decision, but not just based on memory or CPU, based on many different resources like network, I/O, swapping, ballooning, ready queue, DRS compliance type rules, affinity, anti-affinity rules. And in order to achieve performance, you can't just be moving workload around. There's other decisions like sizing a workload that you need to consider. Our placement decisions are aware of workloads' desire to resize, as well as the desire for a cluster to scale out or scale down. So there may be opportunities to consolidate workload within an environment, which would be different types of placement decisions to remove hardware, as well as knowing when to provision more hardware to scale up. So it's decisions around placement, sizing, and overall scaling of hardware capacity.
So we can think about it, about this function as enhance the DRS.
You can choose to leave it on, you can choose to turn it off. Most of our customers continue to maintain using DRS, and they just have Turbonomics on top of that, making its decisions, and the two can live in harmony if you'd like.
Can you show us some demo, perhaps?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So over here we've got our new interface, our HTML5 interface. And big things in version 6.0, which are coming out shortly, is our ability to connect to many different types of technologies and cloud providers, and again, maintain performance across those platforms. So traditional on-premise estates we support and always have supported, but also your public cloud estates, private cloud estates as well, AWS, Azure, SoftLayer. And as output of connecting to those different technologies, the platform is putting together a supply chain mapping the different relationships that exist in the exchange of resources. And without going into too much detail, your workloads, your hosts, your storage, they're all making decisions for themselves on how they can get the best amount of resources when they need them. So an output of all of this analysis will be decisions. And those decisions could be sizing decisions, placement decisions. And their main goal initially would be to guarantee performance, and what we find as a byproduct of this is its ability to free up additional hardware capacity in environments and help you avoid future spend. We also ingest all of your compliance rules that you may have, making sure that you're not violating any sort of governance rules, you're maintaining any affinity or anti-affinity rules that you might have, or HA rules, failover rules. And so these are then decisions that you can decide if you'd like to automate or not. And the idea is that you're taking these actions in real time, always maintaining your environment in a desired state, instead of reacting to performance alerts and relying on troubleshooting after the fact when your environment's in a state of risk.
Okay, the HTML5 interface is already finished, or is it just work in progress?
We've always been shipping it within the product since version 5.6. And allow users to flip between the two. In version 6.0, it will be the default interface. And so you can expect to see a lot more of the HTML interface if you're interacting with Turbonomics. You'll have the option to switch back to the old interface, but what you'll find is much more rich feature set in the HTML interface as all of the development is going into that.
Okay, so the next question will be about the roadmap. What's on the roadmap?
Well, world domination, of course. Any workload running on any cloud, any private infrastructure, anywhere is really the goal of the platform. So we continue to look to expand to different public cloud providers, beyond what we support today, different private cloud providers, and really continue to embrace the different knobs and levers that those platforms have, the different decisions that we can leverage, and the different data points that we can collect. So sorry if that's a little bit vague, but for us, our roadmap is, I think, a lot in the cloud and making decisions there, but also reducing the footprint or still maintaining performance in a private cloud environment and reducing costs as well across both platforms.
Thanks very much for the interview.
Thank you.